Hello everyone! Learning Agri with Al ulit ay nagbabalik sa another free lecture sa subject naman na Agricultural Extension and Education. I hope you're doing well and I hope you are ready na makinig sa ating lecture for the day. So simulan ulit natin, as usual, sa ating first question. First question states that the last ones to change type of adapters. Okay? So hinahanap natin ay yung type of adapters that, according to the question, ay sila yung pinakahuli na nagbabago. Now, this question is related doon sa model ni Rogers na ang tawag ay diffusion of innovation theory. Now, ano yung diffusion of innovation theory or diffusion of innovation model? Ang diffusion of innovation model, ginugroup niya yung iba't ibang mga tao sa community base sa kung gaano sila kabilis na i-adapt ang isang idea, ang isang practice, or ang isang technology. So usually, ang pinakamaaga daw ay innovators, and then ang susunod sa kanila ay yung mga early adapters. And majority of which are what we call as early majority, followed by the late majority. At ang pinakahuli na nag-a-adapt sa mga technology, practices, and ideas is the laggards. So base dun sa question na to, the last ones to change are it is letter D. Okay? Ang innovators, they are the first ones to change. Ang late majority, sila yung fourth, susunod sa early majority. And yung letter C na non-adapters, wala po yan sa diffusion of innovation model ni Rogers. Next question. Sabi sa question na to, this mass method, so underline natin yan, of extension reaches many people more quickly in all parts of the country without delay and considered as the most important mass medium for farmers in less industrialized countries. Moreover, this is the best medium to penetrate the remote barangays of the Philippines. Okay? So, remember, ang hinahanap natin dito is a mass method of extension. And what do we mean by mass method of extension or communication? Okay? Ang ibig sabihin nito is, ginagamit natin ang communication para i-deliver yung iba't ibang mga information to as many, so sa pinakamaraming tao at the same time. So we wanted to reach as much people as possible. So ang kagandahan sa mass method, ang kagandahan sa mass method is that gusto natin accessible yung information, gusto natin mabilis na mag-spread ang information, and even though remote or rural areas or yung area ay mahirap puntahan na barangay, let's say, mari-reach out pa rin natin yung mga farmers na yun. Okay? So, isa-isahin natin yung mga tanong. Okay? Let's say yung mga options. Let's say letter D, newsletter. Now, what is a newsletter? Newsletter is a printed medium. Now, it is a mass medium. Okay? Pero, medyo it takes time to print and distribute it. So, kung ang goal natin is to reach as many people as possible, ang newsletter, kailangan pa yung i-print, kailangan mo pa i-distribute. Paano pag sobrang layo ng barangay? Ang hirap maipunta yung newsletter doon. Okay? How about television? Now, television, guys, is also a mass method of extension. Okay? Kasi usually, kung ano yung nakikita natin sa TV, yun yung nakikita na rin ng maraming tao sa iba't ibang dako ng Pilipinas. Ano? Especially kung isang channel yan, pare-parehas lang naman yung ating mga napapanood. However, ang television, unang-una, it requires electricity and it is an expensive equipment. So, yung mga kababayan natin, let's say na nakatira sa remote areas na medyo limited yung economic resources nila, hindi naman po lahat nakakabili ng TV. That is why, kahit na mas medium ang television, hindi siya yung pinaka-effective na method if we are going to reach as many people as possible. Ganun din sa internet. Now, internet is a good thing. Okay? It is a powerful medium, especially in being accessible, in being fast na i-access. The problem with the internet is hindi lahat lalo na yung mga remote barangays, they can access it. So they don't have the resources or maybe walang signal dun sa lugar nila. So D, C, and B is wrong. And by process of elimination, ang pinakatamang sagot na dyan is radio. So indeed, no, radio is considered the correct answer here because in extension, radio is considered the most effective medium to quickly reach a large number of people in wide areas, including yung mga tao sa mga remote barangays natin. Ang kagandahan sa radio, hindi siya ganun kamahal. Okay? It is portable. Kahit nadalhin ni farmer sa farm yung radio niya, pwede. In simpler terms, kahit na si farmer ay nakatira sa town or sa city, radio can still carry yung mga different information na kakailanganin ni farmer. So, the correct answer here is letter A, radio. Okay? So, kapag tinanong kayo sa exam, kung ano yung pinaka-effective na mass method of extension communication, ang sagot lagi, radyo. Okay? Radyo. Next, which of the following is not a mass level of communication? So, alin daw sa mga options ang hindi part ng mass level technique? Okay? Again, ano ulit yung ibig sabihin ng mass communication? It means magsisend tayo ng information sa pinakamaraming tao at the same time. So, anong mga example nun? Yung nabanggit natin kanina, radio. Another one would be television. Another one would be newspapers, leaflets, printed newsletters, yung mga options dun sa previous question. Those are mass communication methods. Basta ang goal ng mass communication is to reach as many audience at the same time or at the fastest rate. Okay? So, isa-isahin natin yung mga options. Letter A, sabi dyan, broadcasting information via radio. So, if radio is a mass communication, hindi na ito yung tamang sagot because we are looking at something that is not, okay, a mass level of communication. TV, sabi natin, ang TV is mass level of communication. So, hindi na rin po yan ang tamang sagot. How about letter C? Conducting result demo in a community. Kapag ba tayo ay nag-conduct ng result demo in a community, we are reaching as many people at as shortest span of time as possible? Hindi, di ba? Kasi sa results demonstration, kailangan nating ipakita kay farmer na yung practice actually works. And dapat meron tayong site kung saan pupuntahan ni farmer para makita yung resulta ng isang technology, let's say. So, hindi siya pang mass media. We are not reaching as many people as possible. We are only reaching those people near the result demonstration site. So, yan po ang hindi mass level of communication. Now, since the question is asking for something that is not a mass level of communication, so tama ang sagot po ay letter C. Si letter D, distribution of leaflets to rural people. Ang leaflets po, nabanggit natin kanina, is a mass method of communication. So letter C ang tamang sagot dyan. How about this question? The Agriculture and Fisheries Modernization Act of the Philippines is also known as, dapat alam nyo na yan, ang Agricultural and Fisheries Modernization Act or AFMA is RA 8435. Okay? So RA 8435 po yan. So just a brief introduction, Ano ang AFMA? Ito po ay isang law that is created para i-modernize or pabaguhin yung sektor ng agrikultura at pangingisda or fisheries. So that's the goal ng AFMA. Next, this is a well-organized plan that brings about, so the goal of this organized plan is widespread adaptation of a particular practice. So yan ba ay political campaign, educational campaign, promotional campaign, or adaptation campaign? So the question, guys, is describing a planned effort. Okay? Or an organized plan. Now, ano yung goal ng organized plan na yun? Ang goal niya ay para makaengganyo ng mga tao to accept or use a particular practice. So, ang tawag dyan sa agricultural extension, yung pagkikreate ng plano, yung pagkikreate ng planned effort, okay? To encourage many people to accept a particular technology, ang tawag po niya sa extension is campaign. Okay? Campaign po ang tawag dyan. Now, may iba't iba tayong uri ng campaign. Pero yung campaign na ang goal ay mag-provide ng information sa mga tao sa rural areas so that they will be encouraged to use a particular technology, ano kayang tawag natin doon? Ang tawag natin doon ay letter B po, educational campaign. Okay? Now, is another thing that you need to remember pagdating sa campaign, guys, ay hindi lang po ito ang campaign ay hindi lang siya isang action, but rather maraming actions po yan. So, a series of coordinated actions po yan. And ang pinaka-purpose ng campaign ay mag-engganyo ng tao. Ngayon, kung ang purpose ng campaign natin ay mag-engganyo ng tao para sila ay para yung campaign ay magturo, okay? Or hikayatin yung mga tao na gamitin ang isang particular na practice, idea, or technology, ang tawag po dyan, educational campaign. Now, ang political campaign, which is letter A, coordinated efforts din po yan kasi campaign yan. Pero ang purpose ng political campaign ay para suportahan naman ang isang kandidato, ang isang party, or isang political cause. How about promotional campaign? Ang promotional campaign naman po, madalas nakikita naman natin yan sa mga negosyo. So, ang purpose naman ng promotional campaign is more on campaigning a product or service para gamitin ng mga tao. So, hindi siya to inform the people or to educate the people, but rather to promote a particular product so that people will buy it. Yun naman po ang promotional campaign. Ano to, sir? Adaptation campaign. Kasi nung una ko pong nabasa yung adaptation dun sa question, yan na po yung unang pumasok sa isip ko. Well, tama naman. Ang adaptation campaign could be the correct answer kung wala yung educational campaign. Pero mas standard kasi na extension term yung educational campaign kaysa doon sa adaptation campaign. Okay? Mas standard po si letter B. Okay? Kaysa kay letter D. Pero let's say wala si letter B, napalitan yan ng, napalitan yan ng warfare campaign, di tama na ngayon. Pwede nang maging tama si adaptation campaign. Remember guys, pagdating sa exam, sinasabi ko lagi sa mga reviewees noon, sometimes the answer is not necessarily the correct one, but the best one. So, piliin nyo lagi yung pinaka-best na sagot. So, in our case, ang best na sagot is educational campaign. Kapag walang educational campaign, pwedeng maging best na sagot si adaptation campaign. Okay? Next question. The principle of voluntary education means what? Okay? So, ano ang ibig sabihin daw ng principle of voluntary education? So, kapag sinabi natin voluntary education, this means that The people dun sa community, they are learning dahil pinilit sila. Tama? Mali, no? They are learning because out of their own choice. They are voluntarily learning. Walang pumilit sa kanila. The people are going there to attend, listen, or to adopt a particular practice. Ibig sabihin, yung ating farmer, they are motivated, and they are guided, and they are decided talaga na pumunta doon at walang pamimilit. Now, this free-willing participation, okay, or the principle of voluntary education, nabanggit ko na, no? Kung ano yung tamang sagot, is a principle in extension na mahalaga. Kasi naniniwala tayo na dapat yung mga itinuturo natin kay farmer ay nasa sa kanyang sariling interest. At kung magde-decide man siya na aralin yon, dapat nagkukusa siya. Mas nagiging effective kasi yon kaysa kapag pinipilit natin siya. So the principle of voluntary education means here now is letter C. Tama, free-willing participation. Now, ano ang opposite ni letter C? Ang opposite po ni letter C ay si letter A. Participation with coercion. So ano ba kasi ibig sabihin ng coercion? Coercion means you force someone to do something. Okay? It's either i-pressure mo sila, i-threat mo, or i-intimidate mo. O, diba? Sabihin mo kay farmer, kapag di ka umattend dito, sisirain ko yung mga pananim mo. Coercion po yun. Okay? Ano naman yung compulsion? So, participation with compulsion. Opposite din ito ni free willing participation, no? Ang compulsion naman, ibig sabihin, inoobliga mo sila, whether they like it or not. O sabi mo ay farmer, dapat umattend ka sa lecture na to, whether you like it or not. That is compulsion. E ano naman yung participation with lukewarm attitude? Eh siguro yan ay half opposite ng free-willing participation. Ibig sabihin, nag-participate siya, pero medyo 50-50 yung kanyang interest. Yun naman sinasabi niyan. Pero this one, voluntary education, it simply means free-willing participation po yan. Next. This is a strategy where farmers are shown each step on how to use a technology. Okay? So, hinahanap natin yung strategy kung saan tinuturuan daw natin si farmer nung steps or nung proseso kung paano gamitin ang isang teknolohiya. So, ang goal dito is to show to the farmer or to show to the people in the community kung paano ba ginagawa ang isang bagay step by step. Okay? Step by step yan. Now, this one, yung pag-show kay farmer ng kung paano gamitin ang technology step by step is different from showing to the farmer yung outcome or results ng step na yan. So this strategy, guys, anong tawag natin dyan? We call this as, tama, no? Letter A, method demonstration. So pag tinanong kayo sa exam, ano yung strategy kung saan tinuturuan natin si farmer on the process, on the step-by-step actions on how to use a technology? Ang sagot po dyan, method demonstration. Kasi what is a method? A method is a step. It is a process on how to use something. So if we show that to the farmer, that is method demonstration. Kapag i-show natin or present natin sa kanya yung iba't ibang steps on how to use a particular technology. Pero kapag ipinakita natin kay farmer yung resulta ng paggamit ng technology na yon, anong tawag? Result demonstration naman po ang tawag doon. So magkaiba ang focus ha, magkaiba yung pinapakita. Ang pinapakita sa method demonstration is the step-by-step process. Ang pinapakita sa result demonstration is the outcome. Okay? So sana klaro yun sa atin. Okay? Now, ano yung training? Now, training is here is a broad activity. Kasi ang training, pwede siyang lecture, pwede siyang discussion, pwedeng practice, pwede ring demonstration. Okay? Pwedeng method demonstration, pwede ring result demonstration. So medyo broad siya. Hindi niya na target yung tinatanong dun sa to question natin. Ano naman ang seminar? Now, seminar is wrong because also medyo broad siya. At the same time, ang seminar kasi is discussion-based learning activity yan. Walang step-by-step method na pine-present yan. Ang goal ng seminar ay para magkaroon ng enriched learning by being a part of a group discussing a particular matter. So, dito ang pinakatamang sagot, since we're looking for something wherein we show kay farmer yung step-by-step process of using a particular technology, method demonstration po ang tamang sagot dyan. Letter A. How about this? It is the total process by which an innovation spreads out to clients until a large number have adopted it. Okay? Now, for this particular question, ang hinahanap ng question is something related to the spread of innovations. Kaya ako binilugan yung spread dyan. Now, sa extension, ano kaya ang tawag natin dyan? Yung spread of information. Now, para malaman natin yung spread of information, ang unahin ko munang i-discuss sa inyo is adoption. Right? Okay? So, una, ano ba ang adoption sa extension education? Ang adoption, guys, ay nagsisimula lang po yan sa isang tao. So, it is the decision of one individual to accept and gamitin ang isang teknolohiya. Remember, isang tao lang po yan. At ano yung pinagdadaanan niya when he or she is thinking of adopting something? Nandyan yung keyword natin na ayeta. No? Tumadaan siya sa awareness, interest, evaluation stage, trial, and finally, adoption. So that is adoption. Ano yung pinagdadaanan ng isang tao para siya ay mag-decide na i-adapt or i-reject niya ang isang technology? Ngayon, ang adoption, huwag kayong malilito, ay iba po doon sa konsepto ng tinatawag nating diffusion. Kasi kung sa adoption, ang pinag-uusapan natin dyan ay isang tao, sa diffusion, pinag-uusapan na natin yung buong community. Okay? So, yung buong community na. So, ibig sabihin, maraming tao. So, ang tinitingnan natin sa diffusion is, paano ba naikalat or paano na-spread yung technology doon sa community. So, isipin nyo na lang, ang adoption, personal yan, ang diffusion naman, population. So, adoption, personal, diffusion, population. So, since the question is asking for the spread of an innovation, then the correct answer is letter, tama po, letter D ang tamang sagot dyan. Hindi po C, but letter D. Ano ang evaluation? Ang evaluation ay stage po yan ng adoption. Okay? Kung saan ini-evaluate ni farmer, kung susubukan ba niya yung produkto or hindi. Ano naman yung intervention? Well, intervention is wrong. Because intervention simply means yan ay isang action or effort para maimpluwensyahan ng isang situation. So minsan gumagawa tayo ng intervention kasi may mga napapansin tayong mali sa practices ni farmer and gusto natin yung itama. So yung ginawa natin na pagtama kay farmer, ang tawag po doon, intervention. So it's not talking about the spread of innovation. What ang nagto-talk about the spread of innovation is diffusion. How about this? Ito daw ay stage ng adoption process kung saan the farmer will seek further information about the innovation. So ano ba kasi yung different stages sa adoption process natin? Ano yung different stages? Again, yung keyword natin dyan, ayeta. So sinasabi ng ayeta or the adoption process model is every farmer daw or every individual comes through a series of steps para makapag-decide siya kung i-adapt niya yung technology or hindi. So si farmer daw, unang-una siya ay nagiging aware. Right? siya ay nagiging aware na may ganitong klaseng technology that exists. So, nalaman niya na, meron po palang patatas na kapag lumaki, kasing laki ng bola ng basketball. Yan. Okay, naging aware siya. Ngayon, kapag si farmer ay nag-seek ng more information, kapag siya ay nag-research doon sa patatas na nakita niya, ang tawag na doon ay interest stage. Okay? Now, ang interest stage, ang kasunod po niyan, evaluation. I-evaluate niya, susubukan ko ba to or hindi? Okay? So, yon yung evaluation stage. The next stage is, susubukan na ni farmer, but only in a small site. Ang tawag doon, trial stage. So, hindi pa full-blown na pagsubok. Okay? Or hindi pa full-blown na gagamitin niya yung technology, but rather susubukan niya muna sa isang maliit na farm lot niya. So, doon muna siya magtatanim. Tapos kapag napatunayan na yung patatas nga na kanyang itinanim ay lumalaki na parang bola ng basketball, ang kasunod na po niyan is adoption. Kung hindi, syempre ang next step ay rejection po yan. So since the question is asking for the stage in the adoption process kung saan the farmer will seek further information, anong stage po yan? It is letter C, interest stage. Next. Extension programs are based on the people's blank so that they will certainly support the program. So saan kaya nakabase yung extension program natin para suportahan daw ni farmer yung programa? So isa-isahin natin. Nakabase ba yan sa income at social status ni farmer? So, possible, no? Kung may pera siya, mas gusto niya sigurong subukan. Pero hindi kasi ito yung main na basis, no? Hindi naman po tinitignan ng extension program coordinator kung i-design ba niya sa poor or wealthy family yung kanyang extension program. Hindi po. Now, in relation to income, hindi rin po nakadepende yan sa social status. Okay? Ang social status, especially, no, ay hindi isang konsepto na kino-consider natin when we are implementing an extension program. Hindi rin po yan nakabase sa educational attainment and interest. Okay? Lalong-lalo na to, hindi siya nakabase sa educational attainment. So kung hindi nakabase sa educational attainment, status, needs, at income, saan siya nakabase? Nakabase siya sa interest at needs. So nasaan yung interest at needs? Letter D po yan. Okay? So mga extension program po natin, unang-una, before we implement a program, we should know saan ba interesado si farmer? At ano ba yung kanyang kailangan? More than likely, kung ano yung nag-meet na kailangan niya at kung saan siya interesado, yun yung sweet spot sa extension program. Kasi hindi tayo magbibigay ng something na hindi interesado si farmer. Kung hindi siya interesado, hindi niya pupuntahan yan, hindi siya magte-training for that. He won't be interested. Okay? Kung hindi niya kailangan yan, the same. Hindi siya mag-aaksaya ng oras na aralin pa yan kung walang pakinabang sa kanya. Kaya, nakabase lagi ang extension program sa interest at pangangailangan po ni farmer. So, speaking of interest and needs, baka naman guys, interesado kayo sa isang something na sa tingin ko kailangan nyo. Okay? So sa lahat ng mga nakikinig sa lecture ko that is preparing for our agriculturist licensure exam, I am offering you a course. Okay? So what is this course for? It is a review booster course para mas organize ang inyong pagre-review. Bakit siya mas organize? Kasi magre-review kayo sa isang platform which is Google Classroom. And sa Google Classroom, nako-organize yung topic doon per module, per topic, per lesson, and for each lesson, merong mga quizzes. At the same time, napakadami pang supplementary materials, katulad na lamang ng multiple choice questions. Okay? Katulad na lamang ng digital flashcards na create ko noong 2021. So, napakaganda nito. At the same time, no, for this particular season, kapag nag-enroll kayo, you are also eligible to attend an online live coaching session with me. And marami pa akong magiging pakulo dyan. Basta ang goal ko talaga ay ipasa kayo. So sa tingin ko magiging interesado kayo dito. Kasi sa tingin ko, kailangan nyo to if gusto nyong pumasa. Now, I'm not saying na need nyo mag-review. I mean, well, need nyo mag-review para pumasa kayo. But this is just a way for me to help you guys or to boost yung inyong review journey. Now, how much is it? How much is it? Well, since today is March, okay, still 1,399 ang price. Now, if you want to take that price, lock in na yung presyo na yan, mag-enroll na po kayo ngayon. So, bakit kaya pamahal ng pamahal? Kasi gusto ko guys, mag-enroll kayo ng maaga. Kasi yung mga reviewee na nag-aaral ng maaga, sila yung gusto kong i-reward. Now, for our last season, napakadami po at napakaganda ng mga reviews na nakuha natin. So, puntahan nyo lang po yung Facebook page ko na Learning Agri with Al, and makikita doon yung sinasabi ng mga reviewees na umattend sa aking booster course. In fact, meron pa nga akong nag-top, okay, sa ating first season of launching Learning Agri with Al. So if you are interested guys, meron pong link sa baba sa description ng YouTube video na to. You can click that link and basically dadalhin ka niya sa isang form. You will fill out information and nandun na rin yung payment options. Napakadali. But still, kung hindi ka pa sure, pwede ka namang manood pa rin ng ating free YouTube. But I'm telling you guys, sa tingin ko kailangan nyo at sa tingin ko magiging interested talaga kayo sa mga lessons na inilalagay ko at ipinapublish ko sa Learning Agri with Al booster course. Okay? So next question na po tayo. The Masagana 99 was a program of sinong presidente? Okay? So sino presidente po ang may programa ng Masagana 99? It is letter? Okay. So si letter B po, Ferdinand Marcos. So siya ang presidente na may programa ng Masagana 99. So Masagana 99 is a rice intensification program ni Pangulong Marcos Sr. Okay? Next. The function of a university or college that explores and discovers new knowledge and skills to make teaching more effective and useful is what? So tandaan, ang mga universities po natin, lalo na yung mga state universities natin, meron niyang threefold function. Trifecta of function. Ano yung trifecta of function nila? Siyempre, unang-una, kailangan nilang magturo. Sa university, kailangan nilang magturo. Ang tawag doon, instruction. So, sino yung mga tuturuan nila? Yung mga nasa formal educational sector. Yung mga nasa elementary, high school, and most particularly, college. Okay? Instruction po yan. Now, para ma-enhance yung kanilang pagtuturo, kailangan na rin nilang gumawa ng research. Kasi madalas, kung ano yung nalalaman nila sa research, yun din yung itinuturo nila sa mga nagiging estudyante nila. Now, aside from research and instruction, we also have extension na tinatawag. Ano naman po ang extension? Yan yung function ng university kung saan nagtuturo sila sa community. So yung pagtuturo na to ay hindi na lang po sa loob ng classroom but rather pagtuturo sa community. So since the question is asking for a function that explores and discovers new knowledge and skills to make teaching more effective, ang tamang sagot dyan ay letter. Okay. So ang tamang sagot ay letter C, research. Okay. Letter C po, research. Next. This is a method that offers the possibility of greater extension coverage and is therefore more cost-effective. So again, method daw yan. Okay? Ano yung pinoprovide na benefit ng method na ito? It offers the possibility of greater extension coverage. Ibig sabihin, mas marami daw siyang maaabot. Okay? Or mas marami siyang marireach na mga tao. Ano kayang tawag sa method na yon? Nabanggit ko na rin to. Ano kayang tawag sa method na yan? Well, ang tamang sagot dyan ay letter. It's letter D, guys, no? Mass method. So ulitin natin, ano ba ang mass method? Mass method offers the possibility of reaching a wider audience even at a short time or even though sabay-sabay sila. So examples yan, yung radio, TV, newspaper, leaflets, and other mass media. Okay? So, baka ang sagot ng iba ay, sir, mass media yan. Wrong. Bakit? Ang mass media ay hindi method, but rather, it is a tool. It is a channel under mass method. Eh, ang tinatanong dun sa question po ay method, hindi yung tool. Okay? So, mass media is wrong. Ano naman ang individual method? Pag sinabi natin individual method, yan yung method kung saan may direct one-on-one contact ka sa isang tao at a time. So, anong example niyan? Farm and home visits. Pag binisita mo si farmer sa bahay niya, that is individual method. Kapag nagbigay ka ng personal letter sa kanya, kapag tinawagan mo siya sa kanyang cellphone, individual method po yan. Ano naman ang group method? Sa group method naman, instead of isang tao, you have few people or limited number of people at a time. So, example ng group method is meetings. Kapag nagpa-meeting ka, kapag nag-provide ka ng result and method demonstration, kapag ikaw ay nagpa-training, group method naman po yan. So, isipin nyo na lang, ang individual at saka group method, meron silang sense of personal communication. Lalo na yung individual. Yung group method, medyo marami ka nang hinahandle, pero you are still with them as a group. Pero ang mass method, guys, mass method po is wala ng personal touch. Basta ang gusto lang, ang goal lang natin dyan is to reach as many people as possible. So ang question, yung pagtuturo ko sa inyo ngayon, yan ba ay individual, group, or mass method? Siyempre, dahil na-publish yan sa YouTube, yan po ay mass method. Pero kapag naging part kayo ng Learning Agri with Al and nag-lecture ako sa inyo, personally, magiging group method na yan. Not unless one-on-one tayo, magiging individual method siya. Okay? Next. Leaders who are enlisted and trained for specific job opportunities are called what? Okay? So ito daw yung mga leaders that are enlisted and trained for a specific task or opportunities. Ano daw ang tawag sa kanila? Okay? Now, when a person in a community, for example, is prepared for a particular responsibility, let's say, ginawa mo silang coordinator or facilitator na mag-manage ng meeting, ano kayang tawag doon? Ang tawag po sa kanila ay letter C. Yan. Activity leaders po ang tawag sa mga yan. So bakit kaya mali yung program planners? Kasi ang program planners, guys, they are more interested in designing, organizing, and planning the programs. Okay? So hindi sila trained to do a specific job or opportunity, but rather to design, organize, and plan the programs. How about organizational leaders? This is also wrong. Because this term refers more generally dun sa leaders na nasa loob ng organisasyon who actually guides the group as a whole. Pero they are not trained for specific tasks. Remember, yung keyword dito is that they are trained for a specific job. E anong tawag natin dun sa specific job na yan? Ang tawag natin dyan, activity. Kaya ang tawag sa kanila, activity leaders. Eh bakit kaya action leader mali rin? Okay? Tama sana yan, action leader, maganda rin pakinggan. Pero hindi rin kasi yan yung standard term or standard classification natin. We classify people who are enlisted and trained for a specific job as activity leaders, not action leaders. O ito, which of this method disseminates same information at the same time? So kapag ang tinatanong, is a method that disseminates same information at the same time, anong method yan? Mass, individual, or group? Mass method yan. So base doon sa options natin, alin lang po dyan ang mass method? Ang mass method lang dyan ay letter C. Okay? Ang farm and home visit, ano yan? Individual, group, or mass? Yan po ay individual. Office call, individual rin yan. Telephone calls, individual rin po yan. Meetings, ayan, group method po. Okay? O ito, question din kanina to. Iniba lang yung order. The first persons in the locality who will adopt an innovation. So ano yung pinakahuli? Ang pinakahuli ay laggards. Tama. Ano susunod sa laggards? Wait. Hindi susunod sa laggards. Wala na susunod sa laggards, ha? So yun, ang laggards sila yung last people to adapt. Sino yung first people to adapt? They are called the innovators. Innovators are the first people to adapt. Okay? Ano ang next after innovators? Early adapters. Tama. Anong next? So, innovators, early adapters. Ano next? Early what? Early majority. Tapos, late majority. Tapos yung last, laggards. Okay? Next. An important phase. So, this is a phase in extension program kung saan ina-identify daw yung group of farmers to be reached. Di ba? Minsan nandun na sa question yung sagot, no? So this is a phase kung saan ina-identify, tinitignan natin sino-sino ba yung mga grupo ng farmers na kailangan nating i-reach. Or sino-sino ba yung mga farmers na tina-target natin. So anong phase yun? It's letter A, no? Target group. Yung tawag dyan. So target group is a phase wherein we are targeting a specific group of farmers for extension program. So basically sila yung pagsisilbihan ng programa. Ano yung initial situation na binabanggit dyan? Initial situation is yan yung pagkuha ng baseline or existing condition dun sa loob ng community. Contents is more on ano ba yung subject matter, ano yung lesson, ano yung message ng program. So yun yung content. And evaluation naman, yan na yung nasa last phase, ano, ng extension program kung saan ini-evaluate natin kung naging effective ba yung training or hindi. Okay? Next. Which category of adapters of technologies make up the largest block of farmers in the community? So, alin kaya yung pinakamaraming adapters? Innovators ba? Late majority? Early adapters? Or early majority? So, ang tamang sagot po dyan, guys, ay letter D, ano? Pinakamarami po yung early majority. So, ito yung percentage nila. Okay? So, sabi doon sa diffusion model ni Rogers, sabi niya, around 2.5%, yan daw yung mga innovators, sila yung pinakaunang mag-a-adapt ng technology. So, 2.5%, napakakaunti lamang nila. After daw mag-adapt ng mga innovators natin, around 13.5% ng community people ang susunod na mag-a-adapt. Ang tawag sa kanila, early adapters. Ang kasunod po ay early majority, which is 34%, and late majority, which is also 34%. And then ang pinakahuli na mag-a-adapt is yung laggards natin that comprises 16% of the community people. Now, bakit kaya early majority ang tamang sagot? Kung titignan natin, parehas lang naman sila ni late majority, tama? Sir, pwede namang late majority, di ba? Well, pwede ang late majority kung walang early majority. Pero ang best answer for this is early majority. Kasi lalo-lalo na pagdating sa mga extension exam items, usually kapag tinanong kayo ng large block of farmers, ang tinatanong dyan is the first large block of farmers who adapts after your early adapters. So ano ba yung parang pinakaunang wave or yung pinakaunang wave or pinakauna na mag-a-adapt kung saan pinakamarami sila. Early majority yun. Ang late majority, although very tempting kasi 34% din sila, mas late kasi yung wave nila as compared to the early majority. Kaya for this specific question, tandaan nyo, when the extension question is asking for a large block of farmers, we're looking for the first wave of farmers. Okay? Next question. This is the characteristic of a technology that will improve its rate of adoption. So, characteristic daw ng technology that will improve its rate of adoption, when it when it will enable the farmer, parang may mali doon when it will enable the farmer to achieve goals better or at a lower cost than he could previously. So, sinasabi dyan is, ano daw yung factor ng technology kung saan si farmer nakakakita siya ng or nakaka-achieve, hindi lang nakakakita. The farmer is seeing and achieving a clear benefit as compared doon sa dati niyang pinapractice or dati niyang ginagamit. So meron kasi tayong iba't ibang factor of technology, okay? Na nagiging dahilan ni farmer para i-adapt yung technology or hindi. So una dyan is yung tinatawag nating observability. So yan si letter A. Okay? So ano yung observability? Ibig sabihin lang yan is nakikita ba ni farmer yung magandang effect ng technology. So kapag nakikita niya, then mas mataas yung chance na ma-adapt niya yung tech. Kapag hindi niya nakikita, mas mababa yung chance. Okay? Ano susunod? Ang susunod is compatibility. Okay? So compatibility. Yan. Compatibility. Ano naman yung compatibility? Nagmamatch ba dun sa current situation niya? Okay? Kunwari, gusto nyo si farmer gumamit ng laptop, walang kuryente doon sa lugar niya. Ba? So, hindi compatible. So, we want to make sure na yung technology is compatible doon sa environment ni farmer or doon sa konteksto na kanyang ginagalawan. Now, aside from compatibility, meron tayong tinatawag naman na complexity. So by the word complexity, ang ibig sabihin naman yan, madali ba or mahirap gamitin? Okay? Kapag sobrang complex, komplikado yung mga processes para gawin yung isang technology, mahihirapan si farmer sundan yan. So in as much as we can, gusto natin padaliin. Aside from complexity, meron tayong tinatawag na relative advantage. So ano ang relative advantage? Ang relative advantage, ibig sabihin nito, na-experience ba ni farmer yung kaibahan, yung positive na kaibahan ng current technology dun sa previous technology na gamit niya. So dyan, tinitignan, kino-compare ni farmer yung pinagamit mo sa kanya at yung ginagamit niya dati. Kung yung pinagamit mo sa kanya ay higit na mas advantageous, mas beneficial kaysa doon sa ginagamit niya dati, ibig sabihin yung product ay may relative advantage. Okay? Sometimes, aside from being better, it could also talk about the cost. Kunwari, nagpagamit ka sa kanya ng technology na fertilizer na mas mura, pero same lang yung effectivity niya doon sa ginagamit niya dati, di relative advantage na po yun. So, bukod sa benefit, we are also looking at the minimization of cost. And finally, aside from relative advantage, meron tayong tinatawag na trialability. Kasi remember guys, si farmer, medyo scarce ang resources niya, lalo na kapag nasa rural area yan. So ayaw niyang mag-all-in agad-agad sa isang particular technology. Siya nagiging maingat. Kaya ang gusto niya, doon yung technology, gusto niya, pwede ba yung subukan sa isang maliit na site lang muna. Instead of applying it to my whole farm, susubukan ko lang muna sa isang maliit na site. Yun po yung trialability. So since the question is asking about goals that are better or at a lower cost than he could previously, yan po ay observability, compatibility, complexity, relative advantage, or trialability. Yan ay, okay, letter B, relative advantage. Okay? Relative advantage po ang tamang sagot dyan. Next. Last question. It is a strategy where farmers are trained to become critical decision makers. It is also called schools without walls. So ano ho kaya ang schools without walls? So schools without walls, ang tawag natin dyan ay, okay, very good, letter A, Farmer Field School. So ang FFS or Farmer Field School ay isang extension approach kung saan si farmer po ay trained na maging isang critical decision maker sa kanyang farm. Okay? So ibig sabihin, tuturuan natin si farmer to observe, to identify yung mga problems, to analyze the situation, and decide what is best for it. Okay? Ang IPM is what? It's wrong. Kasi ang IPM is Integrated Pest Management. This is more of a concept. Okay? A concept on how to control pests rather than enhancing or training the farmer's critical decision making. Ang farmer's class, well, pwede. Kung wala yung farmer field school. Pero masyadong generic kasi yung term na farmer's class. Ano? Maybe a farmer's class is a component of farmer field school. Okay? Ang farming system naman is a system of a farm enterprise. But it's not teaching a farmer to become a critical decision maker. So that's it, guys. Maraming salamat ulit sa pakikinig. I hope you've enjoyed and learned something. Again, if you are interested sa ating Learning Agri with Al Booster course, i-click nyo lang po yung link na nasa baba. Have a great day, Agri learners, and may God fill you up and give you the strength to continue moving forward sa inyong pag-review. Maraming salamat at ang lagi kong sinasabi, di bali nang magkamali ngayon, huwag lang sa exam. Kaya practice lang ng practice, review lang ng review. There is no shame in getting the answers wrong. Okay? Ang mahalaga, matuto tayo sa ating pagkakamali at maitama na pagdating ng board examination. Thank you so much and have a great day.